Welcome to the COVID-19 homeless count training. Thank you for helping us with this important task. There is no way we could do it without you. By the end of this training, you should be ready to count our homeless friends in this very unique year. To be clear, this video does not go into any depth regarding infection prevention protocols. That training is being delivered by health authorities. Our number one priority since March 2020, as we continue to work towards ending homelessness, has been to keep our homeless friends safe and healthy. Therefore, like other communities across the country, we are modifying our 2021 count. The goal of the count this year, as set by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, is more circumspect than in previous years, to measure if homelessness has gone up or down during the COVID-19 pandemic. HUD has explicitly stated that this count will not allow for apples to apples comparisons with previous years. There will be three main differences between previous counts and this year's count. We will be utilizing homeless rehousing system professional outreach teams instead of volunteers. We will be utilizing a brief survey, which will contain less questions than in previous years. And the count will take place over 14 days in the second half of February rather than one night at the end of January. So getting ready to count, what do you need to do? In preparation for the count, please make sure that you watch both videos, this one and the one that Megan Starnes has prepared to walk you through how to use the app. So first for a count overview, and then we will get into details. We refer to the census tracts in which you count as routes. So we would like you to thoroughly canvass each route, as much of it on foot as applicable, obviously using common sense. We'd like you to conduct an interview that is highly preferred, or an observation if you cannot conduct an interview with each homeless person that you find using the app. So that's an overview, and now we will break it down step by step. Number one, we want you to stay safe. Now, there is no reason to feel unsafe around someone just because they are experiencing homelessness. Use common sense. If you do not feel safe and comfortable interacting with someone, don't. Always remember, observe COVID-19 infection prevention protocols, including at the most basic, social distancing, wearing PPE, and keeping all interactions brief. If specific terrain or a specific area in your route feels unsafe, don't go there. And always be aware of your surroundings. Know where you are, an address, an intersection, or landmarks. So where should you look? On the streets, in tents, alleyways, buildings, or cars, in 24/7 restaurants, behind restaurants and around dumpsters, at transit stations, around emergency shelters, around and under overpasses, in emergency room waiting areas, in Walmart and other big box store parking lots, and in motel parking lots. Who should you look for? For the purposes of this count, we use HUD's definition of homelessness, i.e., anyone spending the night in a place not meant for human habitation. Now, there are other definitions of homelessness used by other federal departments. However, on the night of the count, we focus on the folks that meet this definition. That means, for instance, that folks who are doubled up or paying for their own stay in hotels or motels are not counted as homeless, even though other federal departments do consider them homeless. Individuals experiencing homelessness have many belongings with them because they must carry around all of their possessions. They might have carts or strollers. They might have suitcases and or very full hefty bags. At the very least, they might have a very full backpack, and they probably have many layers of clothing. Always approach with courtesy. Introduce yourself. Hello, my name is David, and I'm with Metro Dallas Homeless Alliance. We are interviewing persons experiencing homelessness. Now keep in mind that even though the person is living somewhere not meant for human habitation, it's still their personal space, and they consider it to be home. Treat it with respect. Ask permission to approach. Is it okay if we approach your tent? Is it okay if we approach your camp? Don't bang on things or make loud noises or speak loudly or shine flashlights in anyone's face. Explain why you're there. Is it okay if we ask you some questions? We are surveying folks who are homeless so we can improve services for you in our community. We also have care packages to share with you. You are asking them to do something for you. So offering them a care package is a way of reciprocating. Do not condition receiving the care package on participating in the count. If they say yes, use the app to conduct a survey interview with them. Go through the questions one by one. If at all possible, try to make it more of a conversation than just a Q&A. And you might even have one person do the talking and another person mark the answers in the app. Now, if a person is not willing to be interviewed or is asleep, conduct an observation survey using the app. Enter as much information as you can discern from observing the person. Now, this is important every year, but it's vital this year to prevent duplication since this count is occurring over 14 days. Offer the person the care package anyway. Don't condition it on being willing to be interviewed. That said, the very giving of the care package might cause someone to change their mind and be willing to be interviewed. And then you go back to what we just discussed in the previous slide. Now, a person may deny being homeless out of concern for their own safety. Conduct an observation if you firmly believe that despite what they tell you, they are indeed homeless. If there's a closed tent and those inside are not willing to open it and be interviewed, don't just guess. Ask how many folks are in there and record this as an observation survey. Now remember to thank each person you interact with, even if they weren't willing to be interviewed. It never hurts to thank someone. And thank you for helping us conduct a count amid a global pandemic. We can't thank you enough.